What's up, OB Tribe? Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm super excited to start a brand new playlist here on YouTube. This playlist is going to help us with our mission of opening the outdoors to everyone. We have a lot of people that follow our company that have never been backpacking or are brand new to backpacking. Part of helping them is having our direct-to-consumer pricing, but another part is also giving them the information that they need to go out on their first trip. This playlist is going to go over how we can help them buy the gear that they need and how they can know of what type of gear is available so that they can tailor that to their specific needs out on the trail. The video series is actually going to have 7 parts. So the first one is going to be about evaluating your situations, your needs, things like that. Then we're going to dive straight into buying the gear itself. We're going to go over hammocks versus sleeping pads. We're going to go over sleeping bags. We're going to go over backpacks, shelters, food, water, cooking setups, and then also some of those miscellaneous survival and accessory type products at the end of the video series. By the end of it, you should have a great knowledge source to go out there and start making purchases to fill up your backpack for your next adventure. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the 4 T's. You can remember that because it's Tayson's 4 T's, right? The 4 T's are going to be covering terrain, temps or temperatures, time, and troubles. These are going to be things that you want to evaluate before you ever hit the trail or before you ever start purchasing gear. So let's start with the first T, terrain. It's extremely important that you know the terrain that you're going into. You need to know what kind of vegetation is in the area. Are you going to be able to use a hammock, or are you going to take a hammock and have no trees to hang it up on? Is there going to be water? Do you have to pack extra water, or will you be able to filter water on the trail? What's your starting elevation going to be? Are you ascending a lot or descending a lot? These are all really, really important. It's also important to remember landmarks and to just get familiar with those types of things as well so that you know if something happens, is there a way that you can get off the mountain or get off the trail safely? Let's jump down to the second T, temps or temperature. It's extremely important that you know the kind of temperatures that you're going to be experiencing, the average highs and lows. It's also important that you know if there could be potential rain or snow or anything else that could alter your plans. Not knowing these things before you start purchasing gear could put you in a dangerous situation or leave you highly uncomfortable on the trail. The third T is time. If you're doing something like a week-long trip, you really need to know how far you can get every single day so that you can calculate that trip out right. If you don't calculate it out right, you may have no food on the last day, which is also why I recommend that you pack a little bit more food than expected. How do you know these types of things? Well, if you're really going on a week-long trip, I highly recommend you go on a 1 or 2 day trip beforehand and see your particular skill set. See how far you can go in a day, whether it's on flat ground or climbing. You need to kind of know those things so that you can plan those out. Now, if you're going on a really popular trail, there are usually estimates that you can get for how long it will take you to cover the trail. But not all trails are like that, so you really need to know your abilities so that you can calculate time correctly. The last T is troubles. What kind of troubles can befall you on the trail? Are there bears in the area that you need to be prepared for with a bear canister or even bear spray? Is the area known for flash floods? Could there be a snowstorm that could throw you off schedule and slow you down significantly? These are the types of things that you really need to be evaluating in your preparations. There's also things like heat stroke. Now this one is extremely dangerous as most people don't realize the signs of heat stroke until it's too late. Make sure that you're drinking a ton of water and also bringing things like electrolytes to stay hydrated and stay safe. Also, some people have specific ailments or things that they need to worry about, such as asthma, or if they have prescription meds that they need to bring. Make sure that those are going on your checklist and that you're not forgetting them. A couple bonus things to consider here. If you're going to a national park, you really should check if a permit is needed to hike the trail that you're planning. And make sure that you're doing that far in advance, otherwise you may have a last-second cancellation on your trip or an alteration. The next thing is budgets. When most people start out backpacking, they don't have an infinite amount of budget. You might have $500 to get you out the door and to get all the stuff that you need. $500 is going to be great, but it means that you're not going to be able to buy the best piece of gear for every single piece of your setup. Make sure that you're analyzing that and valuing what you need the most. If you value having the best backpack, then make sure that you buy the best backpack and then buy in moderation for all of your other items. Analyzing that budget though is extremely important before you start buying the gear. So this concludes the first video in our gear guide for new backpackers. If you want a checklist that you can go through before your first backpacking trip, make sure to hop over to OutdoorVitals/checklist. There you're gonna be able to run through that. It's gonna give you all the different things that we typically are putting in our pack when we go and hit the trail. Also, we will have 6 more videos that are going to be following this up, so make sure that you're subscribed and that you've clicked the bell notification so that you'll be notified when those next videos go live. We're going to run through all the different parts of a backpacking system and help you be more prepared for your first backpacking trip.